Hello, all. Today we're going to talk about properties files, different ways of reading the values instead of hard coding. Okay. So first of all, we're going to let me uh, try with the system properties. Let me create a project. I'll say it's a simple project, Java project. Sample project. I will click next. Okay. I will close unused projects. Okay. Sorry, I closed the wrong one. Let me double click it, it will open. So I have first file. Let me create JDBC program, simple JDBC program. Okay. Then we're going to try passing the values using different different ways. Okay. Let me create class. Say new class. So I'll say JDBC program, and this is my package, and there's a main method, and so to write the JDBC method, we need to create the connection manager. We need to create the driver manager, get connection. Not this one. We'll be using uh, third one, third overloaded method. So where we'll be providing um, URL, user, and password. Okay, I'll be using third one. So URL is nothing but my. I'll use JDBC. I'm using Oracle. So Oracle. Okay. At the localhost 1521, and the port number is 1521, right? And my database access. Let's say my user is Spring, and my password is ABC. Let me create assign a statement to new local variable to the connection. So using this connection, why it's showing problem? So it's saying that it needs to be present in throw catalog. Okay. We'll throw it in try catalog. Now using the connection dot prepared statement, because if at all I need to all these operations like update operations. So let me create a string, and inside it I will write query. I will say insert into table, insert into not table. What's my table? If this my table. So I will be inserting these values. So let's say that I have 5 values. Okay, I will be inserting all these 5 values. Okay. Now, after creating these values, I need to pass the values, right? So I will say set string So what are the values I can use? I can say I'll say get because I need to get the values. I'll say get space string. So let me check appropriate one. Okay. First of all, we need to assign the value. So using this prepared statement, so we need to call the set string. Yeah, this is the one. So here, this we have to pass the values. So here the index starts from the x, and so whatever values you want to pass. Let's say that you want to pass e number. So along with it, let's say that you want to pass a few other values like name, salary, and gender, and the last one address. So you want to pass these five values. So let me create values for this. Let me um, let me create local variables. I'll say e number. So we need to initialize it before making this like that, making it so for the five values, and this is my gender and salary, name. So I have to get these values. So I need to get these values. So I need to get these values. So it's asking me to initialize values. So I need to get this value. How am I going to get it? So how to get values? I will say, if it all, first of all, let's try with the. So first of all, I want to try with the. Let's like run as Java configuration. Here, if you click Java configuration, first of all, let me set the value, initialize them. Then I'm going to talk about different ways of passing the values. Okay, I already set the values. Now I don't have any errors. I would say right click, run as run configuration. Here in the run configuration, yeah, this is a Java program, right? JDBC Java program. Here I'm going to pass my argument. Here there are two ways of passing argument. One is program argument, other one is VM argument. So first of all, we are going to try with the program arguments. So here, let me the pass value. First value is name number, right? So I'm going to pass this my e number. Next my name. Next the salary. Next gender. Next is address. I will say. So I just used space as delimiter. Okay, I'm using program arguments. I will just simply apply, then I will close it. So because so those values I'm going to get here. So, let us start with 0. So I'm going to give so this is 4. So this is ours, right? Yeah. Excuse me. So we have um, array of arcs. So I have passed these values. Now let me place my place a breakpoint here, and I will say right click on it, say run as run configuration JDBC program, and in the arguments I have passed this value. Let me click run. Okay, it's saying no suitable JDBC driver found. Okay, fine, that's not a problem. We don't have the Oracle connection. Okay, let's say that we don't have any Oracle connection. We are least bothered about it. So we just need to check whether we are passing values, whether our program is successfully able to read those values or not. Okay, that's the main intention. We don't have any JDBC drivers and we don't have any Oracle database. We're just checking whether we are able to read the properties from the arguments or not. So I will right click on it, debug as, debug configurations, then I will check the arguments, I will say debug. Debug, my cursor, okay, I will switch to debug mode. Okay, now in the background it's executing. So my cursor is here, it's executed all these lines. So let me place my cursor here and check here whether I'm getting correct value or not. Yes, I'm getting the correct value. Yes, I'm getting the correct value for the E number. For the name, yes, I'm getting the correct value. Next to the salary, yes, I'm getting the correct value. Gender, yes. Address, yeah. So when you press F6, it go to execute 16th line. So then address will have some value. So you can see the Hyderabad. This is the value it has. So now it has connected to the JDBC. Now it's going to execute all this step. Then at the end, it's going to um, it's going to execute update, and then insert these values, into the database, into the EMP table. Okay, EMP table. So that's how it's going to. This is one way of passing the values to the program arguments. What is that? Program argument. So this is the one way of passing the values through program argument. Let me check the other way. The other way of passing the values, that is by using VM arguments, virtual machine arguments. So I'm going to remove this. So the other way of passing the values is this. So to pass the values from the VM arguments, we need to use hyphen D, and the name. Remember, is equal to whatever you want to pass. Let's say that I want to pass here this one. So in this way we have how many values? We have 5 values, right? So I will say pass 5 values here. So first one is number, second one is name, third one is salary, and fourth one is gender, and fifth one is address, right? Address. This is the address I'm going to pass. I'm going to say Bangalore. So gender, let's say it's female, and the salary is, its name is this, and the salary is 90,000, and number is phone number 9. 9 is the lucky number. So I'll go with it. I will say apply. I'm going to not run now. So in the program, to read VM arguments, we need to do some modification in the program. So what is that? How we are going to read? Here we are not using program arguments, so we can't use this. We can't use arcs. So instead, we need to say system system dot get property of key. What is the key? Is key number. This is my key, right? So what is my key? String of key. Also key. So key number is my key. Okay. In the same way, because in the VM arguments we have passed hyphen D. The hyphen D stands for the debug. Hyphen D E number. So that E number we are passing here. Okay. So in the same way, let me do modification for the others as well. From name, next is variable, next is gender, next is name, next is address. So I place my debug point, control save. Okay. Now I will right click on it, debug as, debug configuration, and in the arguments we have already passed the value hyphen D. So in the get arguments we are going to pass E number, name, salary, and all those things. Okay, I will say debug. Now the program has run, and I got my cursor at the breakpoint. So let me read E number. Yes, I got my correct value. Name, yes, it's able to read 9000. Yes, it's able to read from the PM arguments. Yes, and if I press F6, it's going to come here. Now it's also going to use the value. So from here, it's going to pass the values and execute the update, and it's going to insert these values into the PMP underscore table. So this is the second way of passing the values of passing the values. Okay, we got some other ways. So the other and the main important way is, so till now we have VM arguments. So we have pass values to VM arguments. The next we have used VM arguments. So even from here we are using get property, and in the VM arguments we are setting the values by using hyphen D. Okay, and the same values we are reading in the program by using system.getProperty, and we are providing the key value. So that's how we are reading. The third and the most important way is by using property file. By using property files. Okay, property files. So let's jump on to the third way of reading the property. Third way of reading the files using property file. So I'm going to create. Let me go to Project Explorer. This is my project, right? So here I have my file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a property file. Where I'm going to create inside the class path. So right click on my source path, say new, other, source folder. So what is my source folder? It's source, okay, source resources. Okay, so now uh, we can do one thing. We can create inside this. So this is also the class path, right? So I'll say file. So next, uh, I'll say my properties. So what pro? So here the extension is dot properties. My properties dot properties. Okay. So let's say this is my file. Okay. Let's say this is my file. So as part of the property file, we need to provide key and value. Okay. So let me say finish. So as part of property file, I need to provide key and value. Oh, why am I not able to get this? So we'll right click on it again to check if I have something option known as property file. No, I don't have any property file. I simply have file. Okay, so I have used this and I created this. So now inside this property files, I'm going to provide key and values. So how I'm going to provide key and values? Let's say that um, my driver class is, let's say this is my database, right? So in the driver class, I'm going to pass db.drv is equal to jdbc dot oracle dot not we'll be using column, right? So inside the double quote, so we'll be passing the driver class in the local host, okay, colon 1521 colon xe, okay. So this is my driver class. So what is my username? So username is print. So what is the password? So password is abc. So I'm passing all the values using the property file. So if at all you want to add any kind of comment, you can use hash. Hash um, files for JDBC program. So this is how I'm passing the values. So the same way I can also pass the values uh, for the e number and all those things. Database node e number. I'm going to pass the value as 10. Not sure whether you should use double quotes or not. I think we should not use double quotes. So I'm going to remove double quotes. Why we are it's not spelled? It's spelling mistake. It's not a problem. Okay. db dot name. What is the name? So let's say the name db dot salary. So this is the salary. 9 is a lucky number, so I will use 9. db dot gender, male. db dot address is Chennai. So I have passed, including the driver class, username, password, and the values I have passed in the form of property files. So let me save this. I'll save this. I'll go to my JDBC program, and here I need to do few modifications. So to read the property files, we need to create the class known as property files. So for that, let me go to JSE, JSE API. I'll go to JSE API and look for the class known as property. As I don't have the package, I'm going to select all classes. So I'm going to search for the property. So property, and simple property name. Yeah, properties. Yeah, I will go to properties class. This is the properties class. You can see. So this is serializable, clonable, and map. Okay, and then there's given few things. So it has the two constructors, properties, and all those things. And these are the methods. Get property of string of key. So we'll be using this one, or we can use get property of string key comma string default value. So if you don't want to pass the default value, you can also pass here. Okay. So if he has not provided anything, we can pass the default value, right? So get the properties is the class. It is the class. Properties is the class. Okay. Properties is the class. So let me jump on and create the first of all create the object for it. So at the top I'm going to come and say new of properties, control one and save. So properties. So how I'm going to read is I will say properties dot get property. I can use two methods. I can use get property or get property key with along with the default value. So I will simply first of all I will go with the simple string key. So if you go to property files, we have many very key values. All these are key values, right? So if we mention key values, it's going to automatically get the corresponding value. Okay. So here db dot, so instead of set property, so we'll do all this and use. So I'm going to store it inside the so I'm going to store it inside the drv. I'm going to mention same thing here, drv. So it should be inside the double quote because this key of string, right? So this key of string, right? It should be in double quotes. The same way I'm going to get the username and password. So I'm going to use these names here instead of hard coding. We'll use read the values from the property, get the property, and save it in some string variables, and we're going to pass directly here. So even these things, I'm going to read it from the database. So this is e number, and this is name, and this is salary, and gender. Next is address. So all these values are from the, I'm going to read it from the properties files. So first of all, to read this values from the properties files, what I have done is I've created the object for the properties. Properties has two methods: uh, get property, okay, with only key, and other one is key along with the default value. So I'm using the first method. So this is how. So let me place my. I'm getting this. Okay, and that I'm going to save it. So I have placed breakpoint here. So right click on it. I will say debug as. Okay, remove this thing, arguments. Okay, it's not required. Right click on it. Say debug as Java application. Okay. Now it's running the debug mode. Okay. Now my cursor is here at the breakpoint. So let me check whether it has read the value from my properties or not. So I'm getting null. Username null. Password null. All these are null. Why? Why? Because we have not set the connection between the properties, property files, and the property object. So how we are going to set the properties? That is by using the method known as uh, so we need to use, first of all, we need to load the properties, right? So for it, we need to use properties dot load. So input file stream, we can say file input file stream. Okay, new of input. If okay, we need to say file input stream and the file name. What is the file name? It is the my properties. So it should be in the class path. That's very much important. File name. What's my file name? My file name is properties. Here it's located. This is my file name. Okay, this is my properties. I'm not going to mention dot properties with extension. I'm not going to mention that one. So I'm getting it's saying that it should be in the try catch block. So if that's the case, I will create inside the throw catch. I will say that it should be all this thing. I'll say throw declaration. Okay, I'm going to throw the file not found exception. So here it's going to create the object for the properties. Then I'm going to load my properties first by using this thing. Now let me run say debug as Java application. Okay. Okay. Now happened. Not sure what happened. So I'll submit it and again run it again. Okay, I will submit it again and right click on it. Say debug as Java application. File not found exception. It's saying that it's unable to find. So if you go to console, it's throwing exception. Why? The reason is because it's not able to unable to find file with the name my properties. Okay, so let's check why it is unable to find. I will remove double quotes. Let me do full part. Okay, so again run it debug as Java application. Again it's unable to find file. Let's check that one. We have the file name is my properties. Okay.